Now ready to start getting the clutch back together and the primary fitted. Yeah, so this is the, I think I have said before, this is the clutch basket that came with in the box of parts. Does look fairly good. Teeth are all good. All the bearing surfaces seem to be okay. There was a little bit of notching in the, as is normal, bit of normal wear in there, very light, so I have just dressed those out with a file to get rid of the notches, so that's all good. And the other thing was, yeah, this is actually a triplex. This is off a later, this is off a 750, and I've got a duplex front sprocket and a duplex chain, but that'll be fine. Couldn't do it the other way around, obviously couldn't put a triplex chain on a duplex sprocket, but that'll be fine on there, that won't affect that at all. So that is perfectly okay to use. The only other bits that were really no good, well, that you can see that is badly worn. Along there, that's too far gone really to dress out. And there's also a chip over there, so I've had to get a new one of those, which is there. And I've got new rubbers to go in. I've got new springs because none of these bits, a lot of these bits were missing. I didn't have any rubbers, didn't have any springs, didn't have any cups, bolts. Yeah, everything was gone. I also got a new thrust washer, and this is the type. This is the early type. So we've got a real mix of parts here. This is the centre, clutch centre. That's an early one. It's got these holes in, which are to locate these bits in there, those little pegs. Yeah, so they are different to the later ones. Later ones don't have these little pegs on. I believe they're a different internal diameter as well. Yep, so we've got that to go on. Got a new set of rollers. There weren't any rollers with it either, so new set of rollers. And the other part which I'm waiting for is a new one of them. And you can see that is really worn. That's okay. That face there is fine. You can still see the machining marks in there. Yeah, but that side for some reason had got really badly worn. I would guess that the rubbers had completely disintegrated, and yeah, the spider had started to wear into the back there. I think the spider is okay. There is a little ding there where somebody has tried to knock it out of there, but that won't affect anything. I've just dressed the side there, which is sort of closest to where the rollers are. It doesn't actually touch the rollers, so I think we'll be okay with that. So I'm just waiting for a new one of them to turn up. Should be here any day. But for now, I can get on and build the centre. Yeah, so I've really given these a bit of a clean up. So first thing will be thrust washer. So that obviously goes on that way around. That's the back. And then place that on. Just get that little wipe over there. like so. And now, not the fun bit, dropping all these in. So I'll just empty these into a little, I think this will do. Just to make it easier to pick them up. There should be 20 of them. Which if I can keep them still and count them. It'd be easier on end, wouldn't they? Yep, 20 of them. Right, so to aid getting these in, I'll just use a little bit of grease. Right, there we go. Fiddly little buggers. Let's just knock that over a little bit while we start. Right, so you get the idea. I'll carry on with that. Getting those in. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the other bit of the clutch centre to turn up, I can get on and do the chain tensioner. So again, I didn't have any of these bits with the bike, so they're all new parts. So that's the blade, and then there's the sort of threaded part, the adjuster that goes through there. There's a trunnion piece which goes one end, and then you've got the actual sort of adjuster nuts internally threaded. Yeah, so that's all the parts for that. The other thing is I didn't have an adjuster, so I've actually just made one. I did have some of this 7/16 hex stock, bar stock, so yeah, just turned that up. Didn't take long, 40 minutes I suppose, on the lathe and on the mill. So I now have a little adjuster for there, so I can do that. Right, so first of all, this part, that rubber, I think it's rubber, feels like rubber, part there is offset. I believe that goes to the rear, or at least when you put it in there it seems to be in the correct sort of position. For where you can see where the chain has worn here. Yeah, so it's sort of towards the rear, that section. So that's that part. Tight on there. Let's get the oil on there. Just for now. So that's that. Right, and the trunnion, this trunnion part goes in at this end. You can see that is also got an offset hole on it, so that needs to be pressed. That is quite tight fitting there. Yep, that is a little bit tight. Might need to there's probably these pattern parts in it. Just open that up a little bit with something. Right, there we are. That's in there now. Just need a little bit of persuasion. Right, so now that threaded sort of pin needs to go through there, and there's a little flat in that end. There's a little slot in here which it rides on, so I need to just get that lined up. Yeah, so that'll go on there. That yeah, that can go on, can't it? Yeah, so that can go on like that, and then we have this piece which has got the thread down it and the little slot in the end for the tool to fit into, like that, to adjust it. And that can then go down there, get the little tool on the end, and we'll just start tightening that up. It doesn't need to be actually under any tension at the moment. We'll just wind that in until it makes contact with that trunnion, and then that will be ready to adjust. Right, so there we are, and I can now replace that part, which I actually had to put 2 fibre washers on. Although I could actually probably get that in the lathe, and it's got too big a step there, that hasn't been cut back properly. I'll just pop that in there for now. If it feels okay with a couple of fibre washers on there, that'll be fine. Tighten that right up. I'll just nip it up so it don't fall out. So there we are. That bit is ready. So there's the new plate, which looks a whole lot better than that one. Yeah. So this goes on this end, which has got these cutouts here around the rim. Obviously that's the bearing side. That goes up, and they will go, well, that will go in there. Right, I think I'll just pop the bolts in just to stop that rotating more than anything. So these are the bolts. So they've got quite a thin head on them. So they go there, there, and there. I'll turn that lot over. Right, like that. See where the spring cups go. In there. And then get the spider, and spline side will go down. So that should fit inside there. That is quite a tight fit. Right, that's in. So now we can start getting the rubbers in, which let's see, where do these? We've got the large rubbers. We'll put them in first. have a look at a diagram and see where they exactly go. So, a diagram, clutch assembly. Right, so those thicker ones, I think, look as though they go. They will be, where are we? This side, so it needs to rotate a little bit, which it is not very keen on doing. Maybe we'll have to take that out and reset that. Oh, there we go, eyes moving slightly. Yeah, so I guess they must have a certain cutout. These are the small ones. Yeah, so they're going to go in there, I guess. They're going to go in that way round. Right, so we need a bit more space. Right, here is a much better diagram, which is out of the Triumph Workshop manual. Right, so bigger rubbers in there for sure, and they also have a little dimple that side, which I'm going to guess goes there. So let's start getting these in if we can. Apparently these are very tight, so this might take a little bit of persuasion. We don't want to be using any oil or grease to get these in, even though they are oil resistant. At least that's what it says in the manual anyway, so we'll go along with that. Get that outside edge in first, I think. And these are the easy ones to get in, apparently. Right, that's those in. They've got to get these ones in. So which way around do they go? They must go like that, I reckon. Yeah. Gotta somehow get that in that hole. I think what I'm going to have to do is get this in the vise, lever that round, and slide the he says slide these in. Let's just check, do they go that way round or do they go that way round? Actually, something like that diagram might be that way round. Yeah, that's got the profile of the spider. Right, I'll get this set up in the vise and we'll go from there. Right, bit of leverage, hopefully. Quite a lot of leverage, in fact. Cool. That is quite tight. Ooh. Bolts are falling out. I think I'm going to need a better bit of leverage than that. What have we got? mighty tight. Let's try going this way. Might be able to pull a bit more. Once I start getting one or two in, that will go easier. Not a lot of movement in these, is there? I'll try pushing that down when I've got another one in, because that is incredibly tight. Right, I'll carry on with this and bring you back when they're in. I think get the camera out of the way and then I can give it some proper heave-ho. They are in, and that didn't have to take some doing, especially getting that last one in. But yeah, they're all in there now. So all I need to do is put on that plate. So I'll have to bolt that from the underside, or screw in from the underside, and I'll just put a little drop of thread lock on these, a little bit of blue thread lock on these screws, and tighten that all up, and then that hub will be ready to go. Right, well that's that part all together, Loctited on there. They do sit a little bit proud, do they? I don't think that'll matter. Right, so now just have to get this on those splines. Actually, before I do that, I'll just give this a little wipe over. Where is it gone? It's a mess. Just to make sure there's no grease around this part. Right, there we are. Now, line these splines up, and hopefully, although I think it is quite a tight fit from when I tried it before it was all back together. Actually, it's a bit easier to do now. Oh, you know what I've forgotten? I'll get carried away. Bolts. Right, I'll just take that off again and start again. Right, bolts. Sit like that. I think I will just see if I can get an elastic band around the front of them and hold them in place. just save a little bit of messing about. Tightest of elastic bands. Right, so they're in position. Elastic band, hold them in place. Right, let's give it another go. Well, that's the spot. That's one spot that does go on easier. Gets to there, gets a little bit tight. A little bit of persuasion. Getting there. Probably could have got it in the press. Might have been easier. Quite there, not far off. Just checking that these haven't come out in position. Not quite. Right, anyway, I'll carry on with that and get that right down. We're nearly there, and yeah, that bit will be done. Right, there we are. That's that on. I'll just have a little bit of oil down there on the thrust washer. Yeah, that's lovely, that. Right, so we're now getting ready to fit this on the bike. I shall just have to have a little bit of a move around because I've got the B31 in here, so I'll have to move that over so we can get round the other side of the Triumph.